Remember about the Obamacare, about the Affordable Care Act, also known as Obamacare? Well, it already passed in 2010, so that issue has already been settled with. But recently, just about a day ago, a federal judge in Texas ruled that Obamacare is now unconstitutional. The reason why this is because according to what the Supreme Court during its ruling on whether it was constitutional or not, they looked at the mandate and said that it was considered a tax. I mean, that was the only thing that basically upheld the Affordable Care Act. The mandate itself was seen more as a tax. But with Donald Trump having managed to dismantle the mandate of the Affordable Care Act, it no longer has that protection. With this mandate completely repealed from Obamacare, this no longer has anything to do in terms of taxes, and now is just the government trying to gain power. Now, because of that, a Texas judge has decided that this ruling is that this law is unconstitutional. Now, of course, a few states such as California are planning to get this to be appealed, but I don't think that is going to be I don't think it's really going to happen. Maybe in one of the circuit courts, it could be appealed, but then it will eventually be moved to the Supreme Court, and due to what its conservative leanings, especially with Brett Kavanaugh, Neil Gorsuch in the new seats of the Supreme Court, it would only make sense that the Affordable Care Act would be finally struck down, and that would have a very big precedence because back in 2016, President Donald J. Trump, and he was a candidate back then, announced that he was willing to get rid of the Affordable Care Act. And he tried his very best at first with dealing with Congress, trying to repeal the entire act. It was not just the Democrats he had to deal with, but a lot of establishment Republicans. Unfortunately, he did not get all the healthcare law removed. He didn't get that all removed, but he did get a very important thing: the mandate itself. Without the mandate, the Obamacare loses all of its constitutional protection. It loses its constitutional power. Like I said before, it was ruled 5-4 that Obamacare would be considered part of the taxing powers of the federal government due to the mandate. No longer does the mandate apply. And now, because of that, it just will simply just disappear out of existence. I mean, a federal judge has overturned Obamacare, calling it unconstitutional, and who knows what might happen in the future. It could actually be it could actually be struck down within the other levels of the federal court system. Now this is just only pure speculation. After all, we're talking about a very important bill, or well, a very important law. In fact, Obama has been very adamant in keeping this. It's a part of his presidential legacy. And obviously, just ruling it unconstitutional destroys that. You think what Donald Trump did when he destroyed the mandate, or when he was trying to get rid of it through legislative acts, was a bad thing? Take a look at what's happening with the court system right now. They are basically going full 180 degrees on this. Originally, and I'm talking about the Supreme Court in this case, they were in full support of this bill. But it has completely changed as a result. Now, I expect that there may be an appeal process, and that one of the circuit courts will eventually take this case up. I don't know what court may actually take this up. Maybe the Ninth Circuit or something. Oh God, I hope it's not the Ninth Circuit, because once the Ninth Circuit gets in control of this case, it is almost guaranteed that it will be voting for the liberals, which would be in support of keeping of Obamacare. But yeah, that is again just wild speculation on my part. Maybe it will. Maybe I honestly do believe that the circuit courts will definitely look into this matter pretty soon. But right now, while this is only a small victory, it's still a victory for not just Republicans in general, who have been constantly hating this bill ever since it was first introduced by President Barack Hussein Obama, and even Donald Trump. He absolutely hated that bill and has been adamant on finding a repeal and replacement for it. With this victory, this only just boost the popularity of the Republican Party and Donald Trump more. This would be seen as Donald Trump trying to keep his promise of getting rid of Obamacare, and of course, this would happen in the same case for the Grand Mill Party to a certain extent. I know, but still, a little bit is better than nothing. But as far as for what I know, there is just an appeal going on. I do not know how big of an issue this is going to be, like who is going to eventually take this up. Maybe even this. I don't even know if the Supreme Court will be looking into this. It could go any other way, but nonetheless, this remains a big victory for the right in the United States. My name is Noah, and I'm the Arc Truth. Please post your comments down below, subscribe, like this video, and share it with your friends. Bye.
Almost heaven, West Virginia, Blue Ridge Mountains.